So had a good 0 day in Damascus. As you can see, it snowed and got pretty cold, but it's thawing. It's gonna be in the 40s today, and we are heading back out. Tennessee State, Virginia.
Cherokee National Forest.
So out hiking, still a lot of snow on the ground. Starting to open up a little bit as far as views from the woods. But it's our second day of hiking in what is usually about a quarter of an inch, sometimes gets up to about 5 inches. So it's been a little hard to keep our feet wet, or keep our feet dry. So we just passed a sign that said Springer 407. So we have 407 miles left to Springer. And there's this really
Cute viewing bench.
cute viewing bench of this really awesome view right here. So we have officially hit 1,800 miles.
Yeah. You love it?
400 to Amity Falls.
It's the Roan Highlands, I think. Woo! Bald mountains are beautiful. Tennessee is beautiful. I think we have to still go up there.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
So we're almost there. We've done the hardest part.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Yep.
Thank you.
Elevation gain. I think we get to ridge. I think there's like 2 hump mountains and then there's some balds.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day today.
But apparently we just have like grassy bald ridgeline to walk for a long time.
Woo. Now, if only Julie Andrews would come out.
So one of the more known shelters on the trail is right here in the Roan Highlands, is this barn that was converted into a shelter.
It is sweet. You have all of this space. It's a nice picnic table right over there, the little field area. You got this view from the shelter. And there's the barn. Now the problem is this year it was deemed unsafe, so you can't stay in there any longer. It's a bummer because it's pretty neat. See, shelter closed for public safety. Can't camp inside or within 40 feet. Too bad. Oh, we do have to talk about the privy here though. But I gotta show you what it looks like because it's funny. I don't know how I'd feel about using this when other people were around, but there it is. It was perfectly fine today because nobody else was there. But there you go, open, and then ta-da! That's your view. I haven't seen something like that since like Maine.
I know,
New
that's really
Hampshire,
pretty.
Vermont. That's like New England.
We were definitely being spoiled today.
Yeah. Yeah, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful. So we made it up to Jane Bald. I really hope I got that on video. So I know we go back and forth between North Carolina and Tennessee for a while, but this is our first welcome sign into North Carolina. So we have made it to Rowan Mountain Knob Shelter. It's the reported highest shelter on the AT. It's also one of the only ones that has a door, which is nice when you're at 6,100 feet. 6,275, I'm sorry. And this is where we're going to be staying tonight.
There's got a lot. This is the mythical forest that Brian and I got to sleep in last night. This is a spruce forest. They're really, really rare, and they look really, really old. Isn't that pretty? And this is Roan Mountain Shelter.
So we woke up at Roan Mountain Shelter this morning, got greeted with snow right when we were about to hike out, so we ended up waiting about 20 minutes. It went away, and then we had some rain and a lot of fog, and then as you can see now we're getting sun and pretty good open with the clouds in the sky. So yeah, we've had about every degree of weather today already, and it's only noon. It's a beauty spot, which is just past Unaka Mountain. Speaking of beauty spot.
Whew, so once again, we are rushing and going as fast as we possibly can before the sun goes down to try to catch a view. We are at the top of Little Bald. It's not really a bald. There's a lot of trees. It's also kind of chilly out today, but I'm proud of us. We made it pretty far. This is actually just a little tiny spot I found. But yeah, you can still see there's snow all over the ground. There's a lot of ice on the way up here, but there you go, something. The big view is tomorrow. That's gonna be Big Bald, and that's a big deal because Big Bald is where I decided that I was gonna hike the Appalachian Trail. So that's within like the first mile or two tomorrow. Pretty exciting.
So we were doing the approach up Big Bald right now. Already starting to get this wonderful 360 view. So we're gonna keep going to the top. So hopefully it stays this clear and this beautiful the whole way.
A few years ago, this is where it all started for me. I'm sitting in this exact same spot on top of Big Bald. I saw this trail and I saw people going that direction, and I thought they're gonna keep going and they're gonna go way out there and way out there, and I want to know what is out there and what can I possibly see. So now that I've actually been out there, way out there from Maine all the way back to Big Bald, it's pretty amazing. And Big Bald is still absolutely spectacular. Even better than I remember it. But you can also see how this is incredibly inspiring.
I can't even sit because it's just so beautiful. Like everywhere, like I just want to keep walking and looking at everything.
I know.
Kind of accidentally ended up here. We went to go skiing, but it was 50, 60 degrees. And we ended up hiking on the nature trail, which connected to the AT. And I remember getting a picture of Lauren sitting at this spot. And you could just tell that she just really loved it and it just brought her at peace. We just passed Log Cabin Drive, which means we are now officially at 1,900 miles. So we are finishing a 27-mile hike. We have done about 53 miles over the last 2 days and 70 over the last 3 days, and we are getting into hot springs now. So we are loving this thing. It's the golden anniversary. It's right outside of the hostel, which we stayed at last night.
What's the name of the hostel? Laughing Heart.
Laughing Heart.
Laughing Heart Hostel,
Yeah.
in
Wow,
Hot Springs, North Carolina.
That's really bad that we just literally left and we couldn't remember the name. We have
So
trail
many-
brain already.
So many places.
But it's funny because it's 1987, which is the year I was born, and 1 year before she was born.
Yep, pretty neat.
But it's got a man and a woman. We thought it was funny.
That's Gray, and that's me.
So this is what we've been greeted to coming out of Hot Springs.
It was warm.
It was warm in Hot Springs. It rained all day yesterday. I guess it was colder up here.
We started our hike and everything was melted. There was no snow.
But the closer we're getting to Bluff Mountain, though, it's just been solid snow.
I mean, inches.
And then, like, the other problem too is it's coming off the trees almost like rain and sleet. So
We're gonna stay in the shelter tonight for sure.
yeah, we're hoping once we get over Bluff Mountain that it'll be a little bit better on the other side, but we're not too optimistic about it. So
Just gotta stay dry as much as possible and stay in the shelter tonight.
another southbound day in the snow, starting to become a recurring theme. So we are getting up to the top of Max Patch. It's right up there. We're thinking that that is the Smokies over there. We're not exactly sure, but we're thinking that's the direction. So we have made it to Davenport Gap. We're going to drop off our permits and we are officially starting the Smokies. So we've done almost 18 miles of up, almost 5,000 feet of elevation, but when you get glimpses like this, it makes it worth it.
Also, this is the most beautiful, most magical forest in New England. They have Christmas trees.
So we have made it to Newfound Gap. We're going to keep on to the next shelter, but just figured we'd stop for a second. So we stayed at Mount Collins Shelter last night. It is Thanksgiving Day, and we made it to Klingman's Dome, which is the tallest part of the AT. We were also at 2,000 miles today. It's a pretty good Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
So for our Thanksgiving feast, we'll be having stuffing,
mashed potatoes, a honey bun. I think Lauren has a nutty bar for dessert. So this is going to be our fine feast for tonight. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We got to finish up the last like 3.5 miles of our hike, and hope everybody's doing well at home. Love and miss everybody. And here's a beautiful sunset to send out Thanksgiving. So we are at Thunderhead.
Is it Thunderhead or Thunderbird?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Don't have a lot of view of the terrain, but we got a pretty cool skyline. So we made it to Rocky Top. Not much to see, which is unfortunate because it looks like it's pretty open and beautiful. So from a Georgia Bulldog, beautiful mountain, terrible fight song. So we have gone just around 14 miles today since the shelter last night. We are on day 4 of the Smokies. We're about to be to Chuck Shack, which has the Fire Warden's Tower on top of it. And that'll mark our official descent down into Fontana Dam and out of the Smokies. So we have reached the official end of the Smokies. Off to the dam. We were doing about a 16-miler today out of Fontana Dam. Not a whole lot to see today, unfortunately, because it looks like it'd be pretty cool around, but it's been pretty overcast and foggy. We got some pretty cool sights of the dam from a distance as we were hiking up, but gonna go about 16 today. Our legs are still pretty burned from getting through the Smokies, and then hopefully push back up to 20s in the next, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. So we're doing the climb out of Stokoa Gap today. It's a little nicer out right now. It's probably in the 50s. We're actually supposed to get about 2 to 6 inches of snow tonight. So we are trying to get about 20 miles in today, get to a shelter, and then hopefully get to the Franklin road tomorrow. So we are at Westerwald Shelter. We are finishing up our breakfast, and it did snow last night. Lauren's got her coffee. We got some blowing in the shelter last night, so we had to sleep under the Tyvek. That was fun. It was a good idea by Lauren. But we're hoping that this is about as thick as it is. There were some places saying you could get up to about 6 inches last night. We have about maybe a half an inch to an inch. So we're hoping that's all we have because we're trying to get 20 miles to Franklin today.
We made it to Wyabald. It's a little snowy, but We made it. Bri, are you cold?
So climbed out of Franklin this morning after a great 0 day. Got to enjoy the town. As you can tell today, much prettier. It's probably sitting in the 40s right now. It's supposed to even hit the 50s possibly today. I'm back in shorts today, which makes me happy. So all in all, super pretty day for hiking.
So we have made it to the Albert Mountain. There's the fire tower.
So we made it to Albert Mountain. There's a famous little signature for Nobos, indicating 100 miles. That's all we got left. All we got left.
All we got left.
Almost done. Check out that view.
That is awesome.
Pretty cool. The trip wouldn't be complete, I guess, without one more fire tower. You gonna go up it?
He said it was locked.
The top is locked, but I was gonna go up a little bit. Get a better view. That's better.
We have made it to Standing Indian Mountain. We have found snow again. It hasn't snowed all day, but it's still cold enough up here that the snow is still up here. So we're gonna keep pressing on down to the shelter and hope that it looks a little better than this, because all day it's actually been at least decently dry.
There's not been any snow.
Yeah, so gonna push on about another 2 miles and see what it looks like. So we're at Deep Gap right now. So why this is important is
We did the whole thing!
3 years ago we did a shakedown section of Georgia, and this is the part that we got off. We got off at Crimsey Creek over here, walked to Standing Indian campground. Her granddaddy came and took us back home to McDonald's. But what's cool is
Back home to McDonald's.
what's cool is that we have officially completed every part of the AT now. That we made it back to this spot.
This marks all of it. We've done all of it. Our through hike isn't finished, but
Yeah,
technically we have done the entire AT.
The significance of Black Gap was it is the location of our first ever overnight backpack trip. We actually stayed right underneath the Gnarly Oak, which is right here. We didn't know what it was at the time. All the other campsites were taken by the time we got here. And so everybody's probably looking at us like we were crazy, but this is where we stayed under. So we have made it back home to Georgia. Just Miss Lauren kissing the sign.
No, I wasn't kissing the sign. I was pretending to lick it. It was just gross.
Yep.
I will kiss the sign because I'm home now. No.
So we went 28 miles yesterday from Standing Indian. We're currently at Train Mountain Shelter. We ended up camping up here last night because there was someone in the shelter and we got in so late. Had a nice view this morning when it first came up, and now we are enjoying our coffee so we can try to do another 27-mile day in a Neil Gap. God, she's cute, hugging that coffee cup right now. So after 27 miles today, we are now at Neil Gap. We are planning on staying at Mountain Crossings tonight. We called ahead earlier and kind of let them know. This makes a total of 80 miles in 3 days since we left Franklin. So we're a little tired and sore. So we're gonna get in here, grab some food, get a good night's sleep, and then push the last 40 to Amicalola Falls over the next 2 days. So here's mountain crossings in the morning.
It is Neil Gap.
And yes, Neil Gap, no S. And here is the sign for Blood Mountain. This is the shelter, which actually this time of year you can actually stay in without a bear canister. That's a nice perk. Here's the inside. Used to have a fireplace, it's been walled in. But it goes all the way back here. Light switch isn't working today. So we are leaving Fishhawk Shelter. It's got up early this morning and we are heading to Springer, the last day. One more mile, time to cue the montage.
Let's go!
Last white blaze.
You gotta touch it. 2,192. Wow! Yeah.
So I know what you're thinking. We get to go down the stairs. But in fairness to us, look at our Georgia section, they went up the stairs. So we know what it feels like third place.
What's up, guys?
You made it!
Don't care.
You did it.
I gotta pick up my mess.
Leave no trace.
You look so good. You look so good. No. No, did you feel him?
Hey, young man.
Hey, Brian. How you doing, babe? I know. Oh, you did it. You did so good. You did it. That's it. Whew. Brian, it's been a... Yeah, I did. I was dreaming about it for a while.
It's actually really funny when you get carded out here because everybody's like, oh, you look so different.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. My license picture. Everybody goes, oh, this is a good photo. I'm like, what does that mean? I know that I'm not looking my best, but please. All right.
Thank Thank you, everybody, for the support.
I think you look beautiful. Like,
Love all y'all.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right.
cheers.
To Brian and Lauren. You did it.
Awesome. We did it. Oh, and that's the manager. That's right. I lost from where when I started. I gained like 6 for the trip and lost it within a week. And then stabilized at 120.
That's what she did. Like,
So
I've lost.
he lost a bunch.
Last time
of
I
weight.
weighed, I was down to 168. And I started at 188.
When did you wear that last?
Probably 7th grade.
Wow. Oh, my knees. Oh, yeah.
Buddy, he looks little.
Hey, buddy. Oi, buddy.
Hey, Archie.
Yeah, you know.
Archie.
You know. Oh, you smell heavenly.